Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpg image. 3301.
A series of cryptic posters appeared in cities around the world, and it led to thousands of people into one of the most sophisticated puzzles ever created online. Well, the mystery began on January 4th, 2012, when an image appeared on 4chan containing a hidden message from a group calling itself Cicada 3301. Well, the post claimed they were searching for highly intelligent individuals and challenged users to solve a puzzle I have no chance at solving. What followed was unlike anything the internet has ever seen before. Solvers uncovered encrypted messages hidden in the images, books, music files, source code, phone numbers, GPS locations, and even physical posters placed in cities across multiple continents. While every stage became more and more difficult than the last, the puzzles required expertise in cryptography, mathematics, computer science, literature, philosophy, and cybersecurity. Participants traveled to real-world locations to uncover clues, while others spent months decoding messages. Several individuals claimed that they have successfully completed the challenges and were privately contacted by the Cicada 3301. Then they disappeared from public discussion. The organization never revealed its identity, purpose, or what its end goal was. Some believed that it was a recruitment program for an intelligence agency. Others suspected a secret society, cybersecurity organization, or a highly skilled collective searching for talent. New puzzles appeared in 2013 and in 2014 before suddenly stopping forever. Despite years of an investigation involving thousands of people, nobody has ever proven who created Cicada 3301 and what happened to those recruited, or what the organization ultimately wanted. A dead Reddit user's network appeared to stay active after his reported death, and internet investigators eventually uncovered a hidden message board discussing payments, travel logistics, code names, and assignments that some believed were connected to covert operations. The mystery centered on a Reddit user known as Religion of Peace, or ROP for short, who claimed to be an elderly military veteran, programmer, and firearms enthusiast, while for years he reportedly directed attention towards a website called LakeCityQuietPills.com. Then in July of 2009, another user named Angel2-6 announced that ROP had died. Instead of ending the story, the announcement triggered an investigation. Users examining the website discovered a hidden message board buried in its source code containing discussions about travel schedules, personnel assignments, payments, and overseas operations. So what is going on? Well, activity continued after ROP's reported death, including references to his will, an iron key, and a figure known as Shade handling payments. The mystery escalated in January of 2010 when archived posts described a supposed, birthday party involving hotel rooms, temporary names, travel arrangements, unsecured phones, and tightly coordinated logistics. Internet sleuths noticed that the dates closely overlapped with the assassination of Hamas commander Hamoud al-Habab in Dubai. The theory exploded online, while supporters pointed to the timing, travel references, financial clues, and site's unusual name. Then the message board became encrypted. Portions of the website just disappeared, and evidence became harder to access. No proof has ever connected the site to an assassination or covert operation. But years after ROP was supposedly dead, traces of activity linked to his online presence appeared to continue, leaving behind one of the internet's most unsettling unsolved mysteries.
Nothing Bears, then the defense, which hadn't put up a sack in 12 quarters, finally did.
The Max Headroom Incident is up next on our list. The masked man hijacked a television broadcast in one of the most bizarre acts of media privacy ever recorded, and nobody has ever been identified or arrested. On November 22nd, 1987, viewers were watching WGN TV in Chicago when they suddenly saw their signal interrupted by a person wearing a Max Headroom mask and sunglasses.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
And some dry cleaning.
The intrusion lasted only seconds before engineers regained control. normal. And then things became even stranger. Well, later that night, during a Doctor Who broadcast on Chicago station WTTW, the hijacker returned. This time, the interruption lasted more than 90 seconds. The masked figure babbled nonsense, mocked television personalities, waved objects on the camera, and performed increasingly bizarre stunts, while another unseen participant appeared to strike him with a fly swatter. The video ended abruptly, leaving viewers confused and station employees scrambled for answers. Federal investigators, the FCC, and broadcast engineers examined the incident, but never was able to identify those responsible. Pulling off an attack like this required sophisticated technical knowledge and expensive equipment capable of overpowering legitimate television signals. Decades later, despite widespread public interest and countless theories, the people behind the Max Headroom incident remain completely unknown.
Somerton Man's identity has been unknown until now.
Tamam, Shud, or the Somerton Man. An unidentified man was found on an Australian beach with no identification, no obvious cause of death, and a coded message hidden in his pocket, creating one of the most famous cold cases in history. On December 1st, 1948, the body of a well-dressed man was discovered on Somerton Beach near Adelaide, South Australia. Every label had been removed from his clothing. No wallet was found. No identification existed. Investigators searched the missing persons record around the world and totally failed to identify who this was. The detectives discovered a tiny scrap of paper concealed in a hidden pocket sewn into his trousers. Well, the words read Tamam Shud, meaning ended or finished. What has finished? The face had been torn from a rare copy of the Arabic yacht of Omar Khayyam. Police later located the book, and inside they found a mysterious coded message that remains partially undeciphered decades later. Witnesses reported seeing the man alive shortly before his death, but no one can explain who or why was it there. Theories involving espionage, poison, secret lovers, and Cold War intelligence operations circulated for decades. In 2022, advanced DNA testing strongly suggested the Somerton Man was Carl Webb. Carl is Charles for short, an electrician engineer from Melbourne. The identification solved the question of who he was. It did not solve how he died, why he carried the encoded message, or how one of the most baffling deaths in Australian history unfolded. Dyatlov Pass incident is up next. 9 experienced hikers fled their tent in sub-zero temperatures. Well, they ran into darkness half-dressed and died under circumstances that continue to fuel debate more than 60 years later. In February of 1959, a group led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov was crossing the Ural Mountains in the Soviet Union when disaster struck. When the group failed to return, search teams launched an operation and discovered their abandoned tent cut open from the inside. The hikers had apparently fled into the freezing wilderness without proper clothing. Well, investigators followed footprints leading away from the campsite and found bodies scattered across the snow. Some victims died from hypothermia. Others suffered from devastating injuries, including fractured skulls and crushed chests. One victim was missing her tongue. The Soviet investigation concluded an unknown compelling force that had caused the death. What are they talking about? But they offered no satisfactory explanation. Over the decades, theories exploded, avalanches, military experiments, secret weapon tests, infrared sound, espionage, escaped prisoners, and even paranormal explanations were proposed. Later investigations suggested a small avalanche may have triggered the panic, but many researchers continued to dispute that conclusion. The most disturbing fact remains unchanged. 9 healthy hikers abruptly abandoned the safety of their tents in the middle of the deadly winter night, and they never made it back alive, and we have no idea what happened.